Hi, are you out of work? You're looking for a job? All right, that's okay. Don't panic. I've got some ideas for you that I think are really going to help you in this video. So, I, like many people in the corporate workforce, have been out of work from time to time. And the last time I was out of work, it was for quite a while. So, I implemented some steps and they really worked for me. So, I'd like to share those with you now. So you need to think of your job search as your full-time job when you're out of work. You really need to approach it like that. And you also need to overlay a process on top of that when you're looking for work. Let me explain to you the process I used to get my current job at a great company. I totally landed a fantastic job by doing what I'm about to outline for you. So the process I used when I was not working was, as I've already mentioned, I considered looking for a job to be my full-time job. I took that as a mindset. So you kind of need to adopt that. And then I approached the same working hours that I had at my job with this process of looking for a job. So the process was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I actively looked for a job. I started at 9 a.m. and maybe I called it quits at 2 p.m. And then after that, I did some other things which I'll explain to you in a minute. But the process is, the first thing you need to do is get your resume and your cover letters going, get your cover letter templates. That should be easy enough for you to do. If not, I'll do another video on those. But let's say you've got your resume all straightened out and your templates for your cover letters all ready to go. The first thing you need to do is identify jobs that you want to apply for. And these days, it's mostly done online. So when you're doing your job search, you should be looking for the jobs that you want to go after. But here's a tip that I'm going to share with you that really worked for me. And that is, don't look for the job title of your previous job. Like, let's say you were an account manager at the company where you got laid off or no longer work. Account manager is sort of a generic term that means different things to different companies. So if you type in during your search account manager, you're going to get an overwhelming number of jobs that may or may not meet your skills, may or may not meet your needs, may have wildly fluctuating price ranges and salary ranges. So one thing I did that really, really worked for me, and this was the thing that helped me land my current job, was I didn't think in terms of what was my title and what should my title be in my new job. I thought in terms of, what companies do I want to work for? Where would I really like to work? What are the great companies out there that I'd like to look into? And I did that, and I took that approach. And I would simply go to their websites and see what jobs they had open. And I would apply for those jobs. And I'm going to stop right here. When I say apply for those jobs, you may find jobs on that website, the company website, that you think don't match your qualifications. But again, these terms of job titles and roles mean different things to different companies. So what I did was I read the job descriptions, and the job I landed had a completely different title from the job I had before I got this job. But I looked at what they were looking for, and I went down the list and I said, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. And then some of them were, well, I can kind of do that, or I want to do that, or I could learn how to do that. And that was enough for me to apply for that job. I applied for the job based on the company I wanted to work for, and I got the job. So one approach that might help you is, in this sea of confusion when you're trying to look for a job, is to think in different terms. Don't think about job title, think about where do you want to work. And in the Boston area and around the world, there are great, great companies. You might want to work for Gillette, you might want to work for maybe Kronos, you might want to work for HubSpot, any of the great companies that we have around here, or any of the great companies that you have in your town. But keep in mind that remote working is a thing now. So you could work for a company that's headquartered in another country, but it's a great company and they'll let you work from the local office or even from home. So change your mindset about getting the overwhelming number of hits when you do that search for job title. Keep doing that. You might find something in there, but that's really going to be an overwhelming process. So think about where you want to work. Great companies. And there are so many great companies out there that you're not going to have a problem with this. So the other part of the structure piece for the day, when you approach your day, should be as follows. The night before, let's say Sunday night, you should sit at your computer and you should begin to think about the upcoming week with your job search. So think about, what companies am I going to apply for? What jobs within those companies am I going to apply for? So kind of line all that up for yourself Sunday evening, maybe between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. You know, it's just prep work to lay the groundwork for the week ahead while you're going to look for a job. So you want to get that out of the way, and you want to begin to think about what's going to happen the week ahead. I know it's Sunday evening, but you kind of have to do this because you're looking for work and you want to give yourself every advantage you can do. I did this. Sunday evening, I'm like, what's coming ahead? Do I have any job interviews this week that I need to prepare for? If no, there's plenty of work that you can do by searching for companies and searching for jobs within those companies that you want to apply for. And what I would typically do on Sunday was not apply for all the jobs, but I would just harvest the jobs that I thought I wanted to go for. That's easy. It's like, yes, I want this one. Save and bookmark the link. Oh, that looks good. I'll go after that. Bookmark that one. And at the end of a couple hours on a Sunday evening, you may have identified between 5 and 10 jobs that you're going to apply for the next coming week. So that's awesome because you know, okay, I'm definitely going after these jobs. I'm going to do this. I've got work to do Monday morning. So Monday morning comes around, you really need to be disciplined here and get yourself up out of bed, have your breakfast, and sit at the computer and begin to apply for these jobs. Go in and fill out the forms. It's a laborious task. It's painful. Some of these online job applications are really much longer than they need to be. But have patience with yourself, have patience with the process. It is a process, and just go through it, right? So Monday morning between 9 a.m. and say noontime when you have your lunch, you can apply for all these jobs. Carefully go through and apply for them one after another. Do your cover letter. Cover letters, in my opinion, are not optional. You should always send in a cover letter. Why? Because it gives you an opportunity to talk a little bit more about yourself and in sort of natural language beyond what you have on your resume. It's an opportunity you shouldn't give up or give away. So cover letters are great. And you say, Joe, I don't know how to do a cover letter. I don't know how to... Listen, cover letters are easy. It's 3 paragraphs. This is who I am. This is why I'm applying for the job. Here's the skills I have that I believe match with the job. Paragraph number 3. I'm very excited about this opportunity and I'd like to speak with you. Here's my contact information. My resume is attached. So that's a cover letter. It's a chance for you to speak in terms of what you can add over and above your resume. Okay, so you do that every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You keep yourself busy. Monday night, let's say, okay, so that brings you up to lunch. So 9 a.m. to noontime, you have lunch, you take a little break. You get back to it maybe from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're doing more of the same. You're filling out cover letters, you're filling out applications. And maybe you're connecting with people on LinkedIn, you're answering emails, all that administrative stuff that goes on with looking for a job. You need to keep on top of that. Now, it's 3 p.m. and you've done this for the day. You're stuck in the house by yourself. I need you to understand something. As time passes and you're sitting by yourself looking for a job, it's a lonely pursuit. And that can have a negative effect on your overall health, your physical health, your mental health. You might begin to get discouraged. I don't want you to go there. Do what I did. 3 o'clock every day, no matter what the weather. You put your clothes on if you're still in your pajamas. Don't be in your pajamas all day, please. and get outside and walk. Go for a walk. Even if you're not a walker, get out there and walk. Get in the fresh air, get in the sunshine, get out of the house, get out of in front of your computer. This is going to have more benefits than I can list in any video. But this is what's going to keep you going. Think of athletes. Think of your favorite athletic team. Think of your favorite sport. None of the great athletes are in the game for the entire game, every game. They sit on the bench. They rest. They recoup. They take a change of scenery. You can't do this. You can't do this day after day after day after day. You'll wear yourself down. And by the time you get an interview, you might be in a state where someone would look at you and say, that person's kind of broken down, or they're freaked out by their job search. Remember, it's kind of a trick that you want to stay in good shape, physically, mentally, emotionally, so that when you do get on camera for that first interview, or you go to the interview in person, you look great. You're beaming. You've had time away from work, and you've used that wisely. You've taken care of your body. You've taken care of your mind. I know I'm rattling on about this aspect of it, but this piece of the job search process is enormously important. Who wants to hire someone that's broken down or freaked out? No one. And like sharks, they can sense that during the interview. So you need to go and you need to show up, and you need to be looking good and sounding good, and you need to have good energy emanating off of you, despite how you feel. I'll talk about how you should feel, or how I hope you should feel, or how I felt towards the end of this video. So that's the day, and that's day after day after day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here's another huge concept that I'm going to offer you that worked for me during my job search efforts, where I landed an awesome job. Keep that in mind. I took Fridays off. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I did no job searching except for Sunday evening between 6 and 8, which is the pre-work for the week ahead. But I did not do job search Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, unless I had a job interview on Friday. But here's the thing. Nobody's going to get back to you on Friday. No one got back to me on Fridays. No one had any interviews with me on Fridays. If it happens, go for it. But Friday was the day that I took for myself, for healing, for time for me, for doing fun things. I mean, let's face it, you're out of full-time work, and you have an opportunity here to do some things that you wouldn't do if you had a full-time job. I live in the Boston area, as you know. I went to the museum, I went to the movies, I went to the park, I went in town, I walked around Boston, I went to different restaurants. Yeah, I did all this stuff by myself because everyone was working, but that was a barrier that was easy for me to break through. It was healing for me, and that added so much positive energy to my job search. I can't begin to tell you how beneficial it was. So here's an example. If you're looking for a job and you're 3 months in, you haven't found anything, and you're running your gears and you're grinding yourself down day after day after day, that's not good. That's not okay. That's not someone who's probably going to get hired. You need to take care of yourself. So every day, take that little bit of medicine and get out and walk. And then every week, give yourself that wild card day to get out of the house and go do something that's fun that you wouldn't have a chance to do before. Okay, back to the structure. So when you're applying for jobs and you get a hit, you get a positive hit back, someone responds, this is great. So what you need to do then is think about just getting through that interview. In fact, this whole process of looking for a job, you should be single-minded. All you want is the interview. Don't think about getting the job at first. Think about, I just have to get the interview. Because if you can't get through that first interview, you're done. So what has to happen here is that your job search efforts are going to lead you to a situation where someone from HR or a manager emails you back or calls you back and says, let's set up a meeting. So you set up that meeting. That's the first interview. Now, if you haven't done this before, you might not be aware that that is a screening interview to make sure that you are who you say you are, that you're competent, you're capable, you don't have any obvious red flags. So you want to show up for that meeting looking good, sounding good. You need to get through that. That is not the job interview, that's the pre-interview. And you need to get past that sort of gatekeeper first, and they will pass you on to the people who will interview you. So what happens is you meet with one person from HR and you'll have a quick phone call. They'll ask you some questions and then you'll say, great, I'm going to send you a follow-up email and we'll set up a meeting with the team that's the hiring manager. And that's your second interview. That's your job interview, okay? So the process needs to be like you're thinking about just getting that first interview and getting through that. All right, so I need to talk about your state of mind when you're doing this. You need to keep talking to other people. You need to keep an eye on your health. And the other thing I want you to do, instead of just applying for jobs online, is whenever you talk to anyone, I need you to broadcast the fact that you're looking for work. You don't have to let that be the first thing that comes out of your mouth when you talk to somebody. Like if they say, how are you doing? I'm looking for work. Don't do that. That's weird. But you need to figure out a way to work that in whenever you have interaction with any human being while you're looking for work in any capacity, even on your day off. You talk to someone at the ticket counter in the movie theater. They say, how are you doing? Say, I'm great. I got the day off here. I'm having the movie. See the movie. I do have the day off, but I'm looking for work. So that might turn into something where word of mouth would work for you. So tell everybody that you are actively looking and say it in a positive way. You don't want to say, oh, I'm looking for work, I'm bummed out. Don't do that. Be positive. I'm happy, I'm great, and I'm looking for work. It's a great opportunity. It's a great time, everything's good. So that may turn into an opportunity for you. So you're going to think, yes, I have that lonely, isolated search, the drudgery of being alone in my home, in front of my computer, looking for work online. It's terrible, but you build in some release valves there for yourself in the form of a walk and a day off. But at the same time, you want to broadcast to your whole community that you are looking for work. Honestly, how are people going to know that you're out of work and looking if you don't tell them? It's fine. Tell the letter carrier, tell the milkman, tell everyone you see. How's it going? Good, you look great. Yeah, me, I'm looking for work. Get that conversation going, and then they might say, send me your resume, and that could turn into something for you. All right, a little bit long-winded today, but I hope that helps you. The last thing I'll say is your LinkedIn profile is your digital resume. Make sure you have your LinkedIn profile up to date. And if you're not on LinkedIn, please get on LinkedIn. Then connect with as many people as you know on LinkedIn. Bring that LinkedIn profile up to date. That's your digital resume. And broadcast on LinkedIn, not every day, just very carefully. Hello, LinkedIn community. I have some news. I'm looking for a new opportunity. Please visit my site or send me an email. I'll gladly send you my resume. All right, that's the process. Stay positive. Overlay a process on top of it. It is your job to look for a job, build in some breaks, take care of yourself, use your community, and if you want to know more about some of the other things about jobs, like what questions you might get and how to answer them, or how to search on LinkedIn or things like that, resumes. I'd love to do a video on resumes and cover letters. I can do that for you. But this one is just the idea that you shouldn't be waiting for someone to come to you and give you a job. You have to proactively look, and you need a process that works for you. The process I outlined in this video worked for me, and I hope that helps. All right, off I go. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe from Vox Victoria. Bye.